Hello, hello. This is Ruben Zarate, and you're listening to the Dante Elephante podcast. It is Tuesday, September 24th. How are you? What are you doing? What did you do last weekend? What are you doing this weekend? What's happening, man? This is a solo episode. I didn't have a guest. I kind of had some technical difficulties. I kind of got the last episode up really late. I was working like 3 days solid on getting Matt Glossie's episode up, and it turns out my 11-year-old laptop has difficulties. It's hard. My iMovie's really old, and it sucks. But I ended up getting Matt Glossie's episode up. I'm pretty excited how that one turned out. I know it hasn't had that much time to breathe on YouTube, but it's fine. It's on there. Go check it out. Some other updates. What else happened last week? Update October 5th. I am going to buy a camera. We will start filming these things. Me and Raf already has a camera. I'll have my own camera. We'll get two different angles, and that way I won't feel like weird when I ask somebody if they can do the podcast. It's like, we're gonna film it. It's gonna be cool. We're gonna put it on YouTube. It's just another way for me to, incentivize, or a bit of an incentive for someone who's like, I'm not gonna do your podcast, but we're gonna film it and put it on YouTube. So I'm getting a camera off Craigslist on the 5th. That's next Saturday. So look out for that very soon. Very, very soon. But other than that, yeah, it took a while for me to get that Eric podcast up. My iMovie, basically what happens is if I have too many videos on the iMovie, it doesn't want to export anymore. So I had to save it on a hard drive, then delete. And now we're back. Now it should be easy. It should take me no time. It's 11:30 Tuesday, and I hope this comes up by, I don't know, hopefully by the time you're off of work. Solo episode, man. This is tight. Solo episode. The thing I like about solo episodes is that I can finally answer a lot of these questions. I've slowly been asking some of the guests some of the questions you guys given me, and I'm down to like 20, I think. So we're good. We're running through. We're going to run through these questions really quick. Oh, but first, we got some shows coming up. We definitely got some shows coming up. This Friday, Rafa Rose, is going to be at Topa Topa in Santa Barbara from 8 to 11. And then I, Ruben, Dante Elephante, will be at Moxie, DJing for the California Honey Drops, Moxie Innovative Museum of Wolf and Science or something crazy like that. I'll be there from like 6 to 10. And then I'll be at the Saloon Saturday, September 28th from 10 to close. DJ and all vinyl. You know how we do. You know this already. Oh, and then Dia de los Muertos, November 2nd at EO's Lounge. Chicano Batman Los Retros, Cadillac, and Elwoods. It's going to be a crazy show. That one's about to sell out, I think. So get your tickets. And then, of course, yes, aside from DJing, Dante Elephante at Moroccan Lounge. We just announced support. It's a communicant and Austin Weber. I can ask them. Maybe they want to be on the podcast. I haven't met them yet, so we'll see. I'm sure they're down. Right? Well, especially for filming. That's why I want to start filming it. Because then, yeah, it's cool. I just want to be cool. And I think that Moroccan show will do well. It's a Tuesday, and it's like 16 and over. I think you can just call that all ages if but 16 and over. And it's gonna be a good show. I don't know. I think we're gonna get the full band. I need to ask. I still haven't asked the horns yet, so I will ask the horns. Maybe the bongos. We'll see. See if I know my bongo player is currently in Cuba right now. I saw his Instagram. He was in Cuba. Miguelito, if you guys saw us at the Fonda, Miguelito, I think he's in Cuba. So I don't know. I haven't talked to him in a while. I gotta talk to him. That guy's all over the place. But I saw Joe last night. We practiced with Rafa Rose. I play guitar in Rafa Rose's project. So I saw him last night, but I didn't talk to him about playing that show. I'm sure he's down. It's a Tuesday night though, so Tuesdays might be tough for some people. Either way, Moroccan Lounge, Tuesday, October 22nd, with Communicant and Austin Weber. Austin Weber has this cover of is it Mamma Mia? I don't know. Hold on, let me look. Let me go on. I'm gonna go on Spotify here. What it is? Austin Weber. I wonder if he'll get mad if I play his song on the podcast. Well, it's a cover. It's not even his song. Cheated by you since I don't know when. So I made up my mind. It must come to an end. Look at me now. Will I ever learn? I don't know how. But I suddenly lose control. There's a fire inside my soul. Just one look and I can hear a bell ring. One more look and I forget everything. Whoa, whoa, Mamma Mia, here I go again. How could I resist you? Yeah, that's really good. I like that. So I'm excited to hear that. I'm excited to hear Communicant. They're really rad too. So that should be a good show. The weekend is over. I feel good. I'm 2-1 in fantasy in both leagues. I lost one. The last 2 weeks have been weird. I went 1-0 in both fantasy leagues. Fantasy football. I love fantasy football, and I love the NFL. I played football in high school, and I don't know. It's just I am 2-1. I won in both leagues. Week 1, week 2, week 3. I've lost and won one. So now I'm 2-1. I think the squads are pretty strong. You know, I was projected to be one of the worst teams in the league, and here I am, like second place. So second or third place, I think, right now. I haven't looked, but this has been a good week. And then in real life, the Dallas Cowboys are 3-0, and this is just big news. I know we beat the worst teams in the league, but no one's, shitting on the Patriots for playing the worst teams in the league. I think the defense, Dallas Cowboys defense, has shown, like, I don't know, some obvious, like, the game could have gone really bad quickly if the Dolphins were just a better team. And I'm glad we played the Dolphins. And hopefully the defense just gets tightened up and we move on. Alan Hearns took that nasty hit from Jeff Heath. And, ooh, that just sucks, man. Alan Hearns getting hurt. But I think that's just a part of the game, I guess, right? Concussions. Our football coach in high school, he used to some of the techniques they tell us, because we had really bad coaches. He was like, "What's the hardest part of your head?" "Your forehead, so fucking use that thing as a weapon." Like, oh shit. Which would explain a lot of my rambling and mumbling on this podcast, maybe. From the excessive hits to the head that I took when I was 15 years old. But it's all good, man. I missed a high school football game when I was 16 because I played a show at a pizza place in Isla Vista, and I was called a homophobic slur by my coach. I will not say that word on this podcast, but I'll always remember him fondly for calling me that. It's all good. We're fine. I'm not in high school anymore. It's okay. I should let these things go, but like, you still kind of think about that shit for some reason, and you're like, it's been so long. But yeah, whatever. I'm still playing music now. I don't play football anymore. So which one won, All right, let's get into some of these questions. I asked on Instagram if you guys had any questions, and we got a lot of responses. I've been asking a few of them on the podcast. So let's see. Number 1, did you like playing DC9? DC9 was in Washington, D.C., and it was in the thick of the heat wave. It was maybe over 100 that day. Um, and the venue was underground, which I was like, oh, maybe it'll be cooler if it's underground. And it was like, it was so hot, but it was like a good hot. It was like the first time I enjoyed the heat on the whole tour. It was like sweaty and like it was super vibey and it was underground. I don't know. There's something really rad about that show. Um, yeah, I don't know. DC9 was really rad. I had a really great time. We ate really good Ethiopian food across the street. The funny thing about DC9 is they fucked up my check. So we were an out. We drove. We didn't have anywhere to stay in Washington, so we're like, oh, let's just drive out of Washington and find a place like in the next state or city or whatever. And we had to drive all the way back. We drove an hour, went to a bank, and the bank was like, your name's misspelled, or there was some error on the check, so we had to drive all the way back to DC, which is like an hour and a half. We dropped the band off to get their laundry done because it was also laundry day. It was bank laundry day. It was like a day off. So then Ralph and I drove all the way to DC, got the check fixed, and then drove all the way back, picked them up. Ugh. It was such a long day. I think it was a Monday. And Mondays are long, and you can't complain. It's like you're on the road. Like I'm like 3,000 miles away from home. Like it's so much fun, but also annoying that we had to drive back. I love DC. Every time we played DC, um, it was really great, and yeah, I loved it. I think we played somewhere else in DC. I can't remember. Was DC9? Yeah, we played somewhere else in DC in February, and that was also really fun. That was also like a crazy show. I was like, "Whoa, there's people here! What the hell?" With Frost Green and Smith Gardens, those kids are really sweet. Okay, so that was that. Yeah, DC's awesome. Moving on. Um, did anyone ever step on your foot when you danced on the floor while on tour? So if you didn't know, or if you didn't see any of my Instagram stories, like every night, for Call Me on the Phone, I get off the stage and I run into the crowd and I perform the whole song in the middle of the crowd, which is really fun. It's like something I slowly developed because I'm not used to like not having a guitar in my hand, and I was just like, I can't just stand up here. It just feels so awkward. So I get the mic, I run out to the crowd, and I only got stepped on like once, but I didn't feel it because the adrenaline's going. But the next morning, I was like, why is half of my toenail gone? And my pinky toenail is just like shredded. And I was just like, oh, I got stepped on last night. Fuck. But I think that's just part of the deal. It's like our agreement. I run out and I talk to you. You touch me. You film me. People grab my hair. People like grabbed my like shirt. If you went to the Houston show, the one guy was fighting with me with the mic. That was like the most aggressive anyone's ever been with me, um, in the crowd. But yeah, that was nuts. But Houston was crazy. All those shows were really crazy on that tour. But yeah, for the most part, everyone like kind of like got around me and like I was ready for like someone to grab me and touch me, but like everyone was really respectful and made room and made sure not to step on my feet. I think a lot of people were shocked that I didn't have shoes on. Like if it, it's hot, it's summer, and it's uncomfortable and yeah, why would I wear shoes in the summer? I don't wear shoes ever. I'm from Santa Barbara. We wear sandals all the fucking time. It's really trashy, and I used to make fun of people who wear sandals, but then I don't know. I don't know what age I was just like, I'm done with shoes. I'm just gonna wear sandals. But I have been getting back into shoes lately. I don't know. I bought some shoes on tour because I was gonna meet a friend and I didn't want to be that asshole in sandals at a show, a comedy show. Well, either way, yeah, I don't know. Either way, it was good. I didn't get stepped on. I do like running into the crowd. Even if I have to fight old men, it's fun. That's just one of the joys. Huh? Okay, let's move on to another question. How did it feel to get shirtless in the crowd in San Diego? Similar thing. So we were playing in San Diego at the House of Blues, and it was like one, third to last show of tour, and we had just played the Fonda. You know, we had just played the Fonda. The Fonda was like it was sold out, over 1,200 people, and it was just like this crazy. We had the horns, bongos, massive production, and we're the opening band, but we acted like we're the fucking headliner, and it was just like this like once in a lifetime show. Hopefully not once in a lifetime, but like first time I've experienced anything like that. So that was like completely new to me. And it was just like, wow, I can't believe this crazy night. And then okay, now it's time to go to San Diego. And we were late. And the staff at the House of Blues was kind of weird to us. Like I think they really just needed to see our laminates and know that we're legit. And they're just really corporate and it's a really corporate venue. And honestly, yeah, they should be overly cautious, and I don't blame them for that. They should everyone should go through the metal detector. It could, who knows what happens at these shows. So I don't blame them, but they should realize like I'm late, you saw me drive the van, why are you asking for credentials? Like you saw me park the van. It's just you're taking my time and I'm already late. Because driving to San Diego, if you don't know, driving from LA to San Diego should take like an hour and a half, but it takes 4 hours. It's a very brutal drive. California, I didn't experience traffic at all on this tour until we got back into California. And I was just like, oh, this is why too many fucking people live here. Too many people move here and then they get cars and it's just it never ends, especially Los Angeles. Like I always think, oh, I'll be good. It's like 11 o'clock in the morning. Everyone should be at work, and it's packed of people still. The only time I don't get traffic is on Sundays, which is weird. Why? Sunday is like the lightest day for traffic, but then you'll get traffic in the middle of the night because that's when they do like work on the freeway, and then you're stuck in one lane. That happens to me every single time. Just when I think like, oh, good, there's nobody out. I'll make it home really quick. Then we all get funneled into one lane. But okay, back to I digress. Back to San Diego. Midway through the San Diego show, people were screaming, "Take off your shirt! Take off your shirt!" And I was like, "Oh, which one? They're not gonna ask me to take off my shirt. Nobody wants to see me with my shirt off. My girlfriend barely wants to see me with my shirt off." So I looked at them and I was like, "Okay, who? Which one of the band members? One of these handsome, thin band members do you want to see their shirts off with?" And then the crowd responded back with, "You. We want to see you." And I was like, "Oh no." And I had that moment of like, shit. I talk the talk about body positivity and loving the skin you're in. And now is this moment to like be proud and be like, fuck it. Yeah, this is my body. I'm large. I'm pale. I have tattoos and it's an unconventional body. And now I need to show it off in front of all these kids in San Diego. Yeah, I had to walk the walk. You can't just talk the talk, you got to walk the walk. And so I had that moment of like shit. It was that moment though, taking off my shirt in San Diego, where it really brought that show back to life for us because we were all kind of like, shit, we're late. Oh, okay, kind of, kind of not into it, and like the show's going all right, we're playing all right. Into like, holy shit, this is a fun show. This is a crazy show now. What the hell happened? And people are going nuts. I think the crowd asked Motel Radio to take off their shirts. I think they all took off their shirts. And then they asked Matt from Somersault to take off his shirt, and I don't. I was told he did not, which I'm glad. I'm glad someone's got to tell them no, man. I definitely got a few DMs like, "Sorry, the crowd was so bossy last night." Like, who cares? It's fine. It's fine. I like it. Be bossy. Just come back. That was always people were like, come back to El Paso or come back to San Diego, or I'm like, yeah, if you come back, I'll come back. That's like that's it. Yeah. Just if you see me come back to your town, please come back out to the shows. That was like amazing. And that's how it felt in San Diego. It was cold, but I was sweating a lot and it was really fun, and San Diego was really fun. That was like my second time playing in San Diego. Okay. Question number 3. How was Seattle? Seattle was really great. Um, the man I started Dante Elephante with, Kevin Boutin. I should get the OG Dante guys on the podcast. Tommy, Chris, Lopez. If you guys are listening, let's do that shit. Lopez lives in Hawaii, so I would love. Maybe I'll make the trip to Hawaii. Maybe I'll go to Hawaii, bring the camera, bring all the gear, do a podcast in Hawaii. Maybe a vlog or something. That'd be crazy. All right. Well, shit. Let me write. Let me write that down. But really, I should get all of them. Hopefully we can do one all together. That'd be really fun. And talk about the old days. But yeah, I started with Kevin in Isla Vista. He was a UCSB student at the time. So was Tommy. He was also a UCSB student, and Lopez. But Lopez came in like, I don't know, maybe 6 months later. And Kevin got married while I was on tour, which I was like depressed about because like he's one of my best friends and I miss his wedding, but I was also happy because I'm on this tour and I'm meeting a bunch of new people. So it was kind of like being torn, and I was really sad. But then they had their honeymoon in Seattle. So I was like, oh shit. Like he's like, oh, I'm coming to the Seattle show. I was like, cool, I'll put you on the guest list, don't worry. So him and Devin came to the Seattle show, and it was like really nice to see them and talk to them and hear about the wedding, and then we got dinner afterwards, and it was really fun. I love Seattle. It was really cool. We had played there. We played at the Crocodile. That was the last time I had played Seattle with the Orwells. I know. It was fun though. It was really fun. I had a great time this time around. Seattle's a great place. It has such a fun vibe. I'm starting to like it. I didn't like Seattle at first. I was like, oh well, it seems just like any other city, and I always just want to. I just want to hang out in Portland, because I was always more of a fan of Portland, and I've always loved Portland. But yeah, I'm starting to appreciate Seattle, and it was really sweet. And we stayed with Joey's sister, and we played Mario Kart, and we were just like finally had like a little piece of home and relaxation, and a little more comfortable. It was really fun. I didn't really get to buy any records on this tour, which I was really sad about. But also, Seattle, I've never had good luck buying records in Seattle. That's just how it goes. Shout out to Jessie Bronson. She also lives in Seattle. I didn't get to see her, but she listens to this podcast, and that's enough. I'll take that. I'll take if you listen to the podcast and I don't get to see you in person. As long as you're supporting, and I'll see you soon. I always see people again. All right, next question. Was there a certain point in your life where you said this is what you want to do? Yeah. I was just talking to my girlfriend about this last night on the phone. When I was 17, my senior year of high school, I had this like weird syncing company reach out to me on MySpace, and they asked if I was interested in adding some songs to their catalog. And I was like, that's weird. It ended up being like a scam. They wanted like $600 for me to add my songs, and it was such a waste of time. But I drove down to LA and had a meeting with them, and it was really weird, and it felt like I wonder what happened to that company. A&R Select. They're a fucking ripoff, just trying to pick off bands on MySpace and have them pay them $600 for nothing. Who knows? I'm actually I will look into that because I really wonder what happened to those assholes. There's a lot of people like that. There's another promoter. Sorry, I'll get back to this question, but there was another promoter in Santa Barbara who used to do the pay for play, and I had done like a few shows for him, but I was like 17, and he would purposely pick on high school bands because he knew that they wanted to play shows really bad, but they wanted to play shows so bad that they would sell 20 tickets for $25, like these really expensive tickets. And I don't know, I think that was just that pay to play time. And I did like maybe 3 shows like that and ended up buying most of the tickets myself. And I just, never again, man. So if you're in a band and someone approaches you for exposure shows or pay to play, just like do not do it. It's a waste of time. And nothing wrong with playing shows for free. Like if or you don't get paid. Like I know some people also stress about that. Like, well, we're not getting paid for this show, so I don't really want to. I'm not gonna do it. It's like, well, you should do it. It's like if you want to like meet other bands, and it's like so and so's on this bill, and I really like them. Cool, like that will build a relationship. I know that's kind of how like Sad Girl and I met. Like we just like played shows together, and we I brought them to Santa Barbara. They opened up for some of my friends, and it's just like that. And it's just like then you just kind of know each other. But it's just it wasn't. We didn't get paid for any of those shows. And if we did, it wasn't a lot, but like it was worth getting to know some of these other bands that are doing well. And then you just follow each other on Instagram and you just keep in touch, even though if you might never play together again. But who cares? It was really fun. I met a lot of people that way. Um, so don't stress about the money, but also stress about the money. You do want to get paid if it's like a pack show. Someone's getting paid, and you should at least get a little something. Okay, and then back to that show. So I went and had a meeting when I was like 17 or 18 in Los Angeles for this bogus company that wasn't going to do anything for me. But as I was talking to like the guy who wanted to handle my music, he asked me a question no one had like really asked me before, and he was like, "Well, are you interested in making music your career?" And it was like that moment. I was like, I like froze and yeah, it hit me. I said, "Yes, I do." And that like triggered something in my brain like you're doing this now. This is what you're doing. And um 18, 19 for the next 2 years, I was like band hopping until I was like 20. I was just playing drums for other bands while like low key writing songs on the side, but I went and recorded with my buddy in Randall in Lompoc, which is like an hour, which is like 45 minutes north of Santa Barbara, which is how I met my guitar player, Jacob Cole. And so I went and did some songs with him. I did like, I don't know, maybe 12 songs. And like, I showed them to people and I played like a couple shows as Ruby Manslaughter. And like, I played a few dive bar shows and it was just really bad. I was like 18, 19 and nobody came out to the shows. It was just me and my buddy Cheyenne and our buddy Grant at the time. And I don't know, it just wasn't fun. And it was just like, this isn't what I want to do. So I kind of focused back on drums for a couple years. Wasn't having a good time doing that after a while. And I remember I was talking to this girl on OkCupid. Shout out to OkCupid. Shout out. This girl I used to talk to on OkCupid, we used to talk on the phone. And we also used to text. And I told her that I just wasn't happy like playing drums for these other bands and it just wasn't satisfying creatively enough for me. She's like, "Why don't you just start your own band? You keep complaining. You keep complaining to me about it. Why don't you just fucking start your own band?" So that's when I put out the Facebook ad. And I put a Facebook ad out looking for a drummer and guitar player, and that's how I met Kevin. And Kevin came to the Seattle show. It's all tying in now. And that was like the beginning of Dante Elephante. It was me, Kevin, Cheyenne, and then I put another ad out, and we met Tommy, and I was like, shit, these guys are really good musicians. Like, we should write. Like, I really need to step my shit up. And then I threw away all 12 of those songs I had, and we started fresh. And that's that was like the beginning of German Aquatics. Like, I think we had wrote "Let's Start Talking" in like the track German Aquatics, and then we met. And then Lopez was in Mexico, and he came back to America to study at UCSB. He was studying abroad, and then we started jamming together because we needed a bass player. Cheyenne wasn't really interested, and he had jaw surgery, and there's like several things that Cheyenne just. We should have Cheyenne on the podcast. I'll talk to Cheyenne about getting on the podcast. He can tell you his side of the story. He'll tell you his side of the story, but long story short, we need a new bass player. We were kind of rotating through people, and yeah, that was basically how that happened. We wrote songs like Kogi all the time and Heartbeat together, and that ended up being the EP. There was like maybe like 20 other songs we didn't put out, just because we didn't get like a good grasp of how to record yet. So that was like really new, and we didn't know how to record, and the recordings weren't good. So the EP is basically the best recordings we had of the songs. It didn't mean the other songs weren't good. It just means we had shitty recordings of them, which is weird because the whole thing with the recordings is that we were paying hourly, and when you pay hourly, you're kind of like, shit, it's $20 or $30, $50 an hour sometimes for studio time, and we only book like 4 hours at a time, and you can kind of get a song done in 4 hours, but sometimes it takes like 8. Most of the time, it takes like 8 hours to finish a song. Maybe 10. Some people rent out a studio for 10. And there's just the songs didn't get the attention or care that they needed. And we didn't know how to record, and we didn't know what we wanted or how to explain to the producer, like, oh, we want this kind of tone or we want that kind of tone. Like, I was, before I got my Fender Twin, I was borrowing an amp from my friend Chris Castillo, and it was a solid state. The reverb, knob was broken, so there was no reverb. I didn't know anything about low, mids, and treble, and it was just like whatever was on whatever the previous settings were, they always got moved and fucked around in the car. So my guitar always sounded like shit, and I didn't know for years I sounded so bad. I probably sounded so bad for like the first year and a half of Dante Elephante, like 2010 and 11 until 2012. That's when I bought my twin reverb. So yeah, it took like 2 years for me to realize I sound like shit. I should do something about it. Never had any pedals. I only had a tuning pedal. It's only recent. Me and pedals have been like, I don't know, like a 3-year relationship, maybe 4. Yeah. Oh yeah. So then I had that meeting with the guy. He asked me if music is what I wanted to do, and that was the first time where it clicked, and I was like, yeah, actually, music is what I want to do. And then I haven't stopped since. But I've really hit it hard. 2010 to now is like when I've been hitting it like really hard. And then, yeah, some people think we take breaks. I was in El Paso, and someone was like, yeah, you've been laying low. You've been, taking a break. I was like, huh? I wish. I fucking wish I took a break. When? I just didn't. It takes a long time for me to record and to release music and to release stuff that I think is really good. So it appears that people have taken breaks, but it's like a year of writing. While I'm writing, I'm demoing with Eric, and it's a bit of a process. And I did lose all my band. I don't have those original guys anymore. I have a new set of guys and girls. So that was different. So yeah, I guess to the outside world, I did take a break, but not really. I've been here this whole time. And then, so that's how I realized that that's what I wanted to do. I just took that shitty meeting, and yeah, it was for the best. All right, let's take a quick break, and then when I come back, I don't know, closing statements. I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for listening to the Dante Elephante podcast. If you want to support the band, go to www.danteelefante.com for merch and tour dates. Visit our Patreon and become a member to get exclusive podcast content and all vinyl monthly DJ mix and more. You can find Dante Elephante on Facebook, Instagram at Dante Elephante, and Twitter at Dante_Elephante. Don't forget to like and subscribe on this video and enjoy the rest of the show. All right, we're back. Thank you guys so much for listening. This is episode 4. It is Tuesday, September 24th. We're almost done. So update. I hit the studio on the 29th to do strings, vocals, and a few other things. We have some DJ gigs coming up. Hopefully we have some rough mixes soon. I really want to get this record out to you guys. So hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. And so final statements. Just do whatever you want. At this point, if you're a musician and you listen to this podcast and you just don't know where to start or you don't know what to do, I'm not saying take my advice, but yeah, take my advice, man. Just do whatever you want. I think a big problem that I've experienced is that people were upset when I went from one sound to another. Like I did the surf pop thing in 2012 and 13, and it was like kind of popular then, and I was obsessed with Real Estate, and that was like one of my favorite bands. But then from 2013 to 2015, when we released Anglo-Saxon, that's when I got like obsessed with Pavement and the Pixies, and that's all we wanted to do, and Wilco. And so I switched sounds. I went a little heavier, and I went I put some slower songs. Not all the songs were tick, 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 cut, da, 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 da. And I think that's when I kind of fell apart from a lot of the scene and in LA, and I didn't really fit in anymore. And I think I started to change a lot emotionally and as a person and what I wanted in life, and just kind of following that path. But even though those albums still like kind of connect and they're kind of the same thing. So then the big drop off after that is that I wanted to do I wrote like a 20 songs for what Rare Attractions would be, and it was going great until I wrote Call Me on the Phone. I wrote Call Me, and everything changed. I didn't want to write like rock songs anymore, and I was already kind of going towards this like yacht rocky vibe. But as soon as I wrote Call Me, I was like, oh, this is tight. I like this. And then that kind of triggered something in my head that was like, I can do R&B. I can do this. I'm no different than anyone else. Like as long as the songs are good, I think you can do whatever you want, and it can be whatever genre you want. But the songs have to be good. And that's kind of like my whole thought process. Best song wins, and that's always been like when I'm taking songs off a record, best songs win. So with that being said, this next record is going to lean even further into like where Call Me was. If you didn't see us on tour, you didn't hear any of the songs. If you did see us on tour, we played 4 songs off the new record. There's only 8, which seems short, but looking back, like I guess I always just wrote 8 and Kevin would write 1 or 2. And now I just don't have Kevin, so it's just an 8-song record, which at the time I was like, oh shit, I'm having writer's block. I can't write songs anymore. Oh, the songs aren't coming as easy anymore. But like when I do write, it's something I really like. And these songs, I really like them, and I'm really excited for you guys to listen to them. I don't know how far I am from finishing this record. I do know we're close, and this weekend we'll get even closer. So hopefully soon. And then, yeah, like I said, this weekend I record. You'll hear from me next Tuesday. And then that Tuesday will be leading up to me buying the camera. And hopefully we'll get some kind of video in 2 weeks. I still need to figure out how to work it and get a lens. I gotta get a lens. I don't know anything about cameras. Now I have to research lenses. So we're working it out. Man, just do whatever you want. If you think, oh man, I probably just have to start a new band because I'm writing these songs and they don't really fit with this band name, and fuck that, man. It's your project, and if you really love that band names are hard to come by. I didn't even think of Dante Elephante. Cheyenne's like ex-girlfriend did. Um, so so if you got a good band name that people like, just fucking stick with it. Do whatever you want, or don't stick with it. Pick a new band name. Who cares? But don't be like afraid or think I have to do something because of what people may think my band is. Because it's your band. Who cares? The first EP from Dante Elephante in this new album, night and day. It's gonna be, it's so crazy. The new record's cool though. It's really fun, and I can't wait to play it for you guys at the Moroccan. And I think we're gonna play the record from start to finish, mix in with some of the old stuff. I think I'll probably do Junkie. I could do Pasadena Dreams maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna ask that. What songs do you guys want to hear in LA? I'll post that on Instagram right now, and we'll get like a set list going. And maybe I'll do Kogi. I don't know. I want to do something fun for LA. Do something crazy. So, constantly brainstorming. Well, that's it for episode 4, a solo podcast. I still have a bunch of questions, but I'll save that for when I have to do another solo. If you have names for people you want on the podcast, let me know. I'm working on a list right now, but I don't want to hit up anyone. I don't want to hit up anyone until I can film it. You know, like someone cool. I have like a few people. Like, can I call in some favors? Like, I never ask you guys for anything. Can I call in a few favors? So we'll see. Before, I think if I got some good names, yeah, it'd be more enticing for other big names. So we're working on it, man. All right. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for listening. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.